Welcome to the show, everyone. I'm Maurice.
And I'm David.
All right, episode 2, our second full Wikipedia deep dive, and we've got another fun one lined up for you today.
Today's full Wikipedia reading is the page for Lucid Dream, one of my absolute favourites. And yes, we're reading the whole thing front to back.
Now, David, I have a question for you before we get started. Have you ever actually had a lucid dream before?
I've had the moment where I realised I was dreaming inside the dream, but never one of those full superhero I can fly now scenarios.
Honestly, after we finish this page, I kind of want to give it a try myself. Maybe tonight I'll attempt the whole wake up inside the dream trick.
Maybe we should both start trying every night.
All right, bro. This page is long as hell, so let's get started.
Let's get it started, bro. I will begin reading the full Wikipedia page. Here we go. Lucid Dream. Lucid Dream. A dream where one is aware that one is dreaming. In the psychology subfield of oneirology, a lucid dream is a type of dream wherein the dreamer realizes that they are dreaming during their dream. The capacity to have and sustain lucid dreams is a trainable cognitive skill. During a lucid dream, the dreamer may gain some amount of volitional control over the dream characters, narrative, or environment, although this control of dream content is not the salient feature of lucid dreaming. An important distinction is that lucid dreaming is a distinct type of dream from other types of dreams, such as pre-lucid dreams and vivid dreams, although pre-lucid dreams are a precursor to lucid dreams, and lucid dreams are often accompanied with enhanced dream vividness. Lucid dreams are also a distinct state from other lucid boundary sleep states, such as lucid hypnagogia or lucid hypnopompia. In formal psychology, lucid dreaming has been studied and reported for many years. Prominent figures from ancient to modern times have been fascinated by lucid dreams and have sought ways to better understand their causes and purpose. Many different theories have emerged as a result of scientific research on the subject. Further developments in psychological research have pointed to ways in which this form of dreaming may be utilized as a therapeutic technique. The term lucid dream was coined by Dutch author and psychiatrist Frederik van Eeden in his 1913 article called A Study of Dreams, though descriptions of dreamers being aware that they are dreaming predate the article. Psychologist Stephen LaBerge is widely considered the progenitor and leading pioneer of modern lucid dreaming research. He is the founder of the Lucidity Institute at Stanford University.
Definition is the next section.
Paul Tholley laid the epistemological basis for the research of lucid dreams, proposing 7 different conditions of clarity that a dream must fulfill to be defined as a lucid dream. There are 7 of them here. Starting with number 1, awareness of the dream state. Number 2, awareness of the capacity to make decisions. 3, awareness of memory functions. 4, awareness of self. 5, awareness of the dream environment. 6, awareness of the meaning of the dream. And last one here, 7, awareness of concentration and focus, the subjective clarity of that state. Later, in 1992, a study by Deirdre Barrett examined whether lucid dreams contained 4 corollaries of lucidity. There are 4. 1. The dreamer is aware that they are dreaming. 2. They are aware that actions will not carry over after waking. 3rd, physical laws need not apply in the dream. And last, number 4. The dreamer has a clear memory of the waking world. Barrett found that less than a quarter of lucidity accounts exhibited all 4. Subsequently, Stephen LaBerge studied the prevalence among lucid dreams of the ability to control the dream scenario, and found that while dream control and dream awareness are correlated, neither requires the other. LaBerge found dreams that exhibit one clearly without the capacity for the other. He also found dreams where, although the dreamer is lucid and aware they could exercise control, they choose simply to observe.
Which now brings us to history, starting with Eastern.
Thank you, my friend. The practice of lucid dreaming is central to both the ancient Indian Hindu practice of yoga nidra and the Tibetan Buddhist practice of dream yoga. The cultivation of such awareness was a common practice among early Buddhists.
Now for Western history.
Early references to the phenomenon are also found in ancient Greek writing. For example, the philosopher Aristotle wrote, quote, "Often when one is asleep, there is something in consciousness which declares that what then presents itself is but a dream." Unquote. Meanwhile, The physician Galen of Pergamon used lucid dreams as a form of therapy. In addition, a letter written by Saint Augustine of Hippo in AD 415 tells the story of a dreamer, Dr. Gennadius, and refers to lucid dreaming. Philosopher and physician Sir Thomas Browne, 1605 to 1682, was fascinated by dreams and described his own ability to lucid dream in his Religio Medici, stating, quote, "Yet in one dream I can compose a whole comedy, behold the action, apprehend the jests, and laugh myself awake at the conceits thereof." Unquote. Samuel Pepys, in his diary entry for August 15, 1665, records a dream, stating, quote, "I had my Lady Castlemaine in my arms, and was admitted to use all the dalliance I desired with her, and then dreamt that this could not be awake, but that it was only a dream." Unquote. In 1867, the French sinologist Marie-Jean Léon, Marquis d'Hervé de Saint-Denis, anonymously published Les Rêves et les moyens de les diriger, Observations pratiques, or, in English, Dreams and the Ways to Direct Them, Practical Observations, in which he describes his own experiences of lucid dreaming and proposes that it is possible for anyone to learn to dream consciously. In 1913, Dutch psychiatrist and writer Frederick Willem van Eden, 1860 to 1932, coined the term lucid dream in an article entitled A Study of Dreams. Some have suggested that the term is a misnomer because Van Eden was referring to a phenomenon more specific than a lucid dream. Van Eden intended the term lucid to denote having insight, as in the phrase a lucid interval, applied to someone in temporary remission from a psychosis, rather than as a reference to the perceptual quality of the experience, which may or may not be clear and vivid.
Which now brings us to the section called Skill Mastery.
Clinical psychologist Kristen Lamarca outlined 4 stages towards mastering the skill of using lucid dreaming, so it's broken down into stage, title, description, and rarity. 1. Beginner. The practitioner may have no recollection of ever having a lucid dream, and perhaps has at most experienced only brief moments of lucidity. Number 2. Experienced. An experienced lucid dreaming practitioner wields an increased ability of dream control and capacity to execute pre-intended actions. However, there are still aspects of lucid dream practice about employing lucidity productively that are yet to be honed. One's understanding of accessing and maintaining dream lucidity deepen as one has more lucid dreams. 3rd, proficient. A proficient lucid dreamer is marked by a deliberate ability to accomplish intended actions in lucid dreams, along with knowledge of the best actions for given dream scenarios. The proficient lucid dream practitioner's practice is well planned, drawing upon a broad skill set facilitating flexible onironautic exploration, which can include contemplative practices or athletic motor skill training. This level of skill adequacy is not necessary to develop a fulfilling lucid dream practice. 4. Expert. Expertise in lucid dream skill is accompanied by normalization of greater intensity of lucidity during lucid dreams. Lamarca writes that the expert's practice is characterized by at least a decade of intense dedication, long training hours, and mentorship by other more advanced experts. Spiritual figures, such Tibetan Buddhist masters, tend to display the highest order of mastery. Progression along the skill levels is akin to a maturity in the development of the practitioner's discipline, methodology, and application.
Now for Cognitive Science.
In 1968, Celia Green analysed the main characteristics of such dreams, reviewing previously published literature on the subject and incorporating new data from participants of her own. She concluded that lucid dreams were a category of experience quite distinct from ordinary dreams, and said they were associated with rapid eye movement sleep, REM sleep. Green was also the first to link lucid dreams to the phenomenon of false awakenings, which has since been corroborated by more recent studies. In 1973, the National Institute of Mental Health reported that researchers at the University of California, San Francisco, were able to train sleeping subjects to recognize they were in REM dreaming and indicate this by pressing micro-switches on their thumbs. Using tones and mild shocks as cues, the experiments showed that the subjects were able to signal knowledge of their various sleep stages, including dreaming. In 1975, Dr. Keith Hearn had the idea to exploit the nature of rapid eye movements, REM, to allow a dreamer to send a message directly from dreams to the waking world. Working with an experienced lucid dreamer, Alan Worsley, he eventually succeeded in recording, via the use of an electrooculogram, or EOG, a predefined set of eye movements signaled from within Worsley's lucid dream. This occurred at around 8 a.m. on the morning of April 12, 1975. Hearn's EOG experiment was formally recognized through publication in the Journal for the Society for Psychical Research. Lucid dreaming was subsequently researched by asking dreamers to perform predetermined physical responses while experiencing a dream, including eye movement signals. In 1980, Stephen LaBerge at Stanford University developed such techniques as part of his doctoral dissertation. In 1985, LaBerge performed a pilot study that showed that time perception while counting during a lucid dream is about the same as during waking life. Lucid dreamers counted out 10 seconds while dreaming, signaling the start and the end of the count with a prearranged eye signal measured with electrooculogram recording. LaBerge's results were confirmed by German researchers D. Erlacher and M. Schredel in 2004. In a further study by Stephen LaBerge, 4 subjects were compared, either singing or counting while dreaming. LaBerge found that the right hemisphere was more active during singing and the left hemisphere was more active during counting. Neuroscientist J. Allen Hobson has hypothesized what might be occurring in the brain while lucid. The first step to lucid dreaming is recognizing that one is dreaming. This recognition might occur in the dorsolateral prefrontal cortex, which is one of the few areas deactivated during REM sleep and where working memory occurs. Once this area is activated and the recognition of dreaming occurs, the dreamer must be cautious to let the dream continue, but be conscious enough to remember that it is a dream. While maintaining this balance, the amygdala and parahippocampal cortex might be less intensely activated. To continue the intensity of the dream hallucinations, it is expected the pons and the parieto-occipital junction stay active. Using electroencephalography, EEG, and other polysomnographical measurements, LaBerge and others have shown that lucid dreams begin in the rapid eye movement, REM, stage of sleep. LaBerge also proposes that there are higher amounts of beta-1 frequency band, 13 to 19 Hz, brainwave activity experienced by lucid dreamers. Hence, there is an increased amount of activity in the parietal lobes, making lucid dreaming a conscious process. Paul Tholley, a German Gestalt psychologist and a professor of psychology and sports science, originally studied dreams in order to resolve the question of whether one dreams in color or black and white. In his phenomenological research, he outlined an epistemological frame using critical realism. Tholley instructed his subjects to continuously suspect waking life to be a dream, in order that such a habit would manifest itself during dreams. He called this technique for inducing lucid dreams the reflection technique. Subjects learned to have such lucid dreams. They observed their dream content and reported it soon after awakening. Tholley could examine the cognitive abilities of dream figures. 9 trained lucid dreamers were directed to set other dream figures arithmetic and verbal tasks during lucid dreaming. Dream figures who agreed to perform the tasks proved more successful in verbal than in arithmetic tasks. Tholley discussed his scientific results with Stephen LaBerge, who has a similar approach. A study was conducted by Stephen LaBerge and other scientists to see if it were possible to attain the ability to lucid dream through a drug. In 2018, galantamine was given to 121 patients in a double-blind, placebo-controlled trial, the only one of its kind. Some participants found as much as a 42% increase in their ability to lucid dream, compared to self-reports from the past 6 months, and 10 people experienced a lucid dream for the first time. It is theorized that galantamine allows acetylcholine to build up, leading to greater recollection and awareness during dreaming.
Two-way communication is the next section.
Teams of cognitive scientists have established real-time two-way communication with people undergoing a lucid dream. During dreaming, the participants were able to consciously communicate with experimenters via eye movements or facial muscle signals. They were able to comprehend complex questions and use working memory. Such interactive lucid dreaming could be a new approach for the scientific exploration of the dream state and could have applications for learning and creativity.
Alternative theories.
Other researchers suggest that lucid dreaming is not a state of sleep, but of brief wakefulness, or quote-unquote micro-awakening. Experiments by Stephen LaBerge used quote-unquote perception of the outside world as a criterion for wakefulness while studying lucid dreamers. Their sleep state was corroborated with physiological measurements. LaBerge's subjects experienced their lucid dream while in a state of REM, which critics argued might mean that the subjects were fully awake. J. Allen Hobson responded that lucid dreaming must be a state of both waking and dreaming. Philosopher Norman Malcolm was a proponent of dream skepticism. He argued against the possibility of checking the accuracy of dream reports, pointing out that, quote, the only criterion of the truth of a statement that someone has had a certain dream is, essentially, his saying so, unquote. Yet, dream reports are not the only evidence that some inner drama is being played out during REM sleep. Electromyography on speech and body muscles has demonstrated the sleeping body covertly walking, gesturing, and talking while in REM. Prevalence and frequency. In 2016, a meta-analytic study by David Saunders and colleagues, based on 34 lucid dreaming studies over a period of 50 years, demonstrated that 55% of a pooled sample of 24,282 people claimed to have experienced lucid dreams at least once or more in their lifetime. Furthermore, among those who reported experiencing lucid dreams, approximately 23% said they experienced them regularly, as often as once a month or more. In a 2004 study on lucid dream frequency and personality, a moderate correlation was found between nightmare frequency and frequency of lucid dreaming. Some lucid dreamers also reported that nightmares can trigger dream lucidity. Previous studies have found that lucid dreaming is more common among adolescents than adults. A 2015 study by Julian Mutz and Amir Homayoun Javadi showed that people who practiced meditation for a long time tended to have more lucid dreams. The authors claimed, quote, lucid dreaming is a hybrid state of consciousness with features of both waking and dreaming, unquote, in a review they published in Neuroscience of Consciousness in 2017. Mutz and Javadi found that during lucid dreaming, there is an increase in activity of the dorsolateral prefrontal cortex, the bilateral frontopolar prefrontal cortex, the precuneus, the inferior parietal lobules, and the supramarginal gyrus. All of these are brain functions related to higher cognitive functions, including working memory, planning, and self-consciousness. The researchers also found that during a lucid dream, quote, levels of self-determination were similar to those experienced during waking states, unquote. They also found that lucid dreamers can only control limited aspects of their dream at once. Mutz and Javadi have also stated that by studying lucid dreaming further, scientists could learn more about various types of consciousness, which happen to be less easy to separate and research at other times.
Now for suggested applications, with the first section, treating nightmares.
It has been suggested that those who suffer from nightmares could benefit from the ability to be aware that they are indeed dreaming. A pilot study performed in 2006 showed that lucid dreaming therapy treatment was successful in reducing nightmare frequency. This treatment consisted of exposure to the idea, mastery of the technique, and lucidity exercises. It wasn't clear what aspects of the treatment were responsible for overcoming the nightmares, though the treatment as a whole was said to be successful. Australian psychologist Milan Kolick explored the application of principles from narrative therapy to clients' lucid dreams, to reduce the impact not only of nightmares during sleep, but also depression, self-mutilation, and other problems in waking life. Kolick found that therapeutic conversations could reduce the distressing content of dreams, while understandings about life, and even characters, from lucid dreams could be applied to waking life, with marked therapeutic benefits. Psychotherapists have applied lucid dreaming as a part of therapy. Studies have shown that, by inducing a lucid dream, recurrent nightmares can be alleviated. It is unclear whether this alleviation is due to lucidity or the ability to alter the dream itself. A 2006 study performed by Victor Spoormaker and Van den Boot evaluated the validity of lucid dreaming treatment, or LDT, in chronic nightmare sufferers. LDT is composed of exposure, mastery, and lucidity exercises. Results of lucid dreaming treatment revealed that the nightmare frequency of the treatment groups had decreased. In another study, Spoormaker, Van den Boot, and Meyer, 2003, investigated lucid dreaming treatment for nightmares by testing 8 subjects who received a 1-hour individual session which consisted of lucid dreaming exercises. The results of the study revealed that the nightmare frequency had decreased and the sleep quality had slightly increased. Holzinger, Klosch, and Saletu managed a psychotherapy study under the working name of Cognition During Dreaming, a Therapeutic Intervention in Nightmares. This study included 40 subjects, men and women, 18 to 50 years old, whose life quality was significantly altered by nightmares. The test subjects were administered Gestalt group therapy, and 24 of them were also taught to enter the state of lucid dreaming by Holzinger. This was purposefully taught in order to change the course of their nightmares. The subjects then reported the diminishment of their nightmare prevalence from 2 to 3 times a week to 2 to 3 times per month.
Creativity is the next section.
In her book, The Committee of Sleep, Deirdre Barrett describes how some experienced lucid dreamers have learned to remember specific practical goals, such as artists looking for inspiration, seeking a show of their own work once they become lucid, or computer programmers looking for a screen with their desired code. However, most of these dreamers had many experiences of failing to recall waking objectives before gaining this level of control. Exploring the World of Lucid Dreaming by Stephen LaBerge and Howard Rheingold, 1990, discusses creativity within dreams and lucid dreams, including testimonials from a number of people who claim they have used the practice of lucid dreaming to help them solve a number of creative issues. From an aspiring parent thinking of potential baby names to a surgeon practicing surgical techniques. The authors discuss how creativity in dreams could stem from, quote, conscious access to the contents of our unconscious minds, unquote. Access to, quote, tacit knowledge, unquote. The things we know but can't explain, or things we know but are unaware that we know. The Dreams Behind the Music book by Craig Webb, 2016, details lucid dreams of a number of musical artists, including how they are able not just to hear, but also compose, mix, arrange, practice, and perform music while conscious within their dreams.
And the very last section, risks.
Though lucid dreaming can be beneficial to a number of aspects of life, some risks have been suggested. Those struggling with certain mental illnesses could find it hard to tell the difference between reality and the lucid dream, psychosis. A very small percentage of people may experience sleep paralysis, which can sometimes be confused with lucid dreaming. Although from the outside both seem to be quite similar, there are a few distinct differences that can help differentiate them. A person usually experiences sleep paralysis when they partially wake up in REM atonia, a state in which said person is partially paralyzed and cannot move their limbs. When in sleep paralysis, people may also experience hallucinations. Although said hallucinations cannot cause physical damage, they may still be frightening. There are 3 common types of hallucinations: an intruder in the same room, a crushing feeling on one's chest or back, and a feeling of flying or levitating. About 7.6% of the general population have experienced sleep paralysis at least once. Exiting sleep paralysis to a waking state can be achieved by intently focusing on a part of the body, such as a finger, and wiggling it, then continuing the action of moving to the hand and the arm, and so on, until the person is fully awake. Long-term risks with lucid dreaming have not been extensively studied, although many people have reported lucid dreaming for many years without any adverse effects. In 2018, researchers at the Wisconsin Institute for Sleep and Consciousness conducted a study that concluded individuals who lucid dream more frequently have a more active and well-connected prefrontal cortex.
All right, I cannot believe it. We finished the entire page.
Seriously, if you made it this far, thank you. We've got some wild pages coming up too. Things like near-death experience, alien abduction, and even the full page for consciousness, which I really want to read, but man, that one is a monster.
Thanks for checking out our video. Like and subscribe, and leave a comment what topics you want us to check out next.